Today we're going to delve into one of the most mysterious and fascinating stories from the Bible, the Witch of Endor. Now, this isn't your typical Bible story. It's got elements of the supernatural, deep desperation, and profound spiritual lessons. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's explore this intriguing tale together. To really understand the story of the Witch of Endor, we need to set the scene. This all takes place during the reign of King Saul, who was the first king of Israel. Now, Saul's reign was pretty tumultuous. He started off strong but gradually lost favor with God due to his disobedience and impulsive decisions. By the time we get to our story, Saul is in a really dark place. The Philistines, Israel's perennial enemies, are gearing up for battle, and Saul is terrified. He's cut off from divine guidance because of his previous disobedience, and he's desperate. At this point, it's important to note that necromancy, the practice of communicating with the dead, was strictly forbidden in Israelite law. This prohibition was meant to keep the people focused on God rather than seeking forbidden knowledge or assistance from the dead. As it says in Deuteronomy 18:10-12, "Let no one be found among you who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist, or who consults the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord." But as we'll see, desperation can lead people to make some pretty questionable choices. All right, let's dive into the story itself. We find Saul distressed and desperate for guidance. He's not getting any answers from God. No dreams, no prophets, nothing. So, in a last-ditch effort, he decides to seek out a medium, someone who can summon the spirit of the dead. Enter the Witch of Endor. Saul disguises himself and, under the cover of night, goes to Endor to find this medium. He asks her to call up the spirit of Samuel, the prophet who had guided him earlier in his reign. Initially, the witch is hesitant. After all, Saul himself had banned such practices, but he reassures her, promising she won't be punished. When she finally calls up Samuel, the prophet's spirit delivers some pretty grim news. He tells Saul that because of his disobedience, the Lord has turned against him. As recorded in 1 Samuel 28:17-19, Samuel says, "The Lord has done what he predicted through me. The Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hands and given it to one of your neighbors, to David. Because you did not obey the Lord or carry out his fierce wrath against the Amalekites, the Lord has done this to you today. The Lord will deliver both Israel and you into the hands of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also give the army of Israel into the hands of the Philistines." It's a devastating prophecy that leaves Saul even more shaken. This story is packed with deep themes and lessons. First, we see the theme of desperation. Saul's fear and anxiety lead him to seek out forbidden means of guidance. His actions highlight a profound disobedience to God's laws, emphasizing how far he has fallen from his once faithful beginnings. The story also touches on the theme of divine judgment. Saul's decision to consult a medium, despite the clear prohibition, brings about a prophecy of his doom. It's a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from God's commandments. Moreover, this story gives us a glimpse into ancient beliefs about the afterlife and the supernatural. The practice of necromancy, though forbidden, was a real part of the ancient world. This adds a layer of cultural and religious context that makes the story even more intriguing. The tale of the Witch of Endor has left a significant mark on both religious thought and popular culture. In Jewish and Christian traditions, this story has been a point of discussion and interpretation for centuries. It's been depicted in various forms of art, literature, and even in modern media, reflecting its enduring fascination. Interestingly, the story also offers a comparison with other ancient Near Eastern practices. Necromancy and communicating with the dead were not unique to Israel. They were common in many surrounding cultures. This context helps us understand why such practices were strictly prohibited in Israelite law, aiming to keep the people's focus on God alone. Today, scholars and theologians continue to debate the story's meaning and implications. Some view it as a cautionary tale about the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge and the importance of obedience to God. Others see it as a reflection of the complex nature of Saul's relationship with God and his tragic downfall. The varied interpretations show that this ancient story still resonates and provokes thought, offering lessons that are relevant even today. The story of the Witch of Endor is a powerful and enigmatic tale that challenges us to think about faith, obedience, and the consequences of our actions. It's a reminder of the depths to which desperation can drive us and the importance of staying true to our spiritual principles. Thanks for joining us on this journey through one of the Bible's most compelling stories. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating explorations of biblical tales. See you next time.